You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manel and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 178. My name's Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
So recently we've Clavio. What?
Yeah.
Clavio came to us, and they wanted to. They've been running this owned growth stories contest in the month of June, I think it was, and they came up with their 5 finalists, and they asked us to interview all 5 of them, and we're going to bring those to you over the next couple of weeks once the official voting starts to pick the winner. And we thought it would be cool to talk about some of the things that had come up in one of the interviews specifically, and that's really kind of what Clavio talks about a lot is owning your marketing, owning your audience, owning your customer, owning your traffic. So I thought it would be cool to discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guests that we spoke with started her business on Amazon, and she kind of moved over to her own website, and we just kind of talked about some of the struggles with that and how Amazon is giving you less and less access to their customers. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that. But before we do, Kev.
Yeah, we have to. Speaking of Clavio, you got to check them out. They're the number one e-commerce marketing platform. And you can go to clavio.com/uncensored to sign up for a free account. That's clavio.com/uncensored. And over the next couple weeks, we're really going to be talking a lot about Clavio because that's where these stories come from. And that's...
Yeah, and not only that, I mean... we've actually been, right now, we've been using Clavio, which we'll talk about today, in a pretty interesting way. But, if you're not using Clavio, I don't know what you're waiting for. In fact, I would say every single one of the people that we've spoken to about Clavio, the one thing that they said that they liked was the data that they get when they log in. Mm-hmm. And that's the power of Clavio, really. an email marketing platform or a marketing growth platform or whatever their thing is, it's email at the end of the day, right? Or in their case, it's email and SMS, which is a nice added feature. But it's the data that you get. It's the segmentation that you can do on your customers. That is really what the power of Clavio is.
Yeah, for our own business, we've been running ads for a long time, but this specific month was a little bit of a slow month for our Facebook ads. So actually Monday of this week, we were like, let's just turn off the ads and let's just focus on email.
Yeah.
And we just send emails out and we make money.
So again, if you go to clavio.com/uncensored, you could sign up for free. You could bring 250 subscribers over. And yeah, I don't know what you're waiting for if you're not using it.
Do it.
The other thing is we got a Facebook course that we have. It's called The Truth About Facebook Ads. Getting some awesome feedback from it. I'm loving that people are saying that I'm teaching things that they've never heard before. People are even on Instagram posting stories about saying if you think you know Facebook ads, you have to take the course. That's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
If you go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth, you can sign up to the list, and then I will send you a 48-hour link where you can get a deep discount. Right now, it's like a third of what I'm going to be charging once the course is officially launched. Right now, it's in beta. I basically drip out, I think there's 13 videos right now, and counting. Mm-hmm. But it's changing people's lives. It's crazy.
And taking the feedback and doing what people kind of suggest is kind of cool too with the small little group that you got going on right now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So, all right, getting to today's topic. So, as you said, Kev, I wanted to cut you off when you said we turned off the Facebook ads because they're back on.
Well, yeah, they're back on.
And I don't want to give people the wrong idea. We turned them off because we always talk about the offer being the most important thing, right? And we had a really strong offer recently that just ended, and we tried a new offer that is not doing as well, right? It's clear. The ads are just not converting as well. We're not making as much money. So we we weren't even making our money back, quite frankly. We were actually losing money a little bit. And it really came down to the offer.
Yeah, and that's what we always talk about. That's the number one thing. When
Right.
something's not working on Facebook ads, it's down to your offer.
It comes down to the offer, right? Which I talk a lot about in the course, how to craft an offer, those kind of things.
And your offer is it's not going to work the first time you do it. You have to try different offers. You have to figure out what's going to work. It's not like something you're going to think up and all of a sudden it's just going to go like crazy.
Yeah, and also you're changing offers around. Like you can't run the same offer forever, right? You have to change them around. Anyway, so what we did was, as Kevin said, was we shifted gears a little bit because we were losing. We weren't quite breaking even, and we just wanted to make some money.
Right. And the offer was coming to an end. So we did turn off the ads, and then we started. We have like 43,000 subscribers on our email list right now. So we just started sending out emails, and for 2 or 3 days we were really profitable because we were making whatever $3,000-$4,000 a day just from email, right? Which was nice. Right, yeah. You get ahead a little bit.
Right. So one of our guests was talking about how she started her business on Amazon, and it was almost like $1 million business, I believe.
She was doing well. I don't know if it was quite seven figures.
Was it 7 figures?
Yeah.
She was doing really well on Amazon, and then she realized that Amazon kept giving her less and less control over, her customers, less and less information about her customers, and she started to realize that she had no control over anything, and her fate was in Amazon's hands.
Yeah, I think she was like, yeah, you barely get the customer's name at this point from Amazon.
She says you don't even get it.
You don't even get it, right?
Yeah.
And I think these platforms like Amazon and Etsy and even like eBay and even Facebook now that have their marketplace, that have their own shops. They can have such an appeal because they seem easy. You don't have to worry about traffic too much because Amazon's going to handle that. But in the end, it's like, especially with this woman that we spoke to, which she had a clear mission and a clear message behind her business. She wasn't able to, portray that message to any of her Amazon customers or even make that connection to her Amazon customers because she really didn't have any control over them. It was basically all Amazon customers.
It was all Amazon, and she has a story, and she has a person, an avatar that she actually connects with, and she happens to be the avatar. Mm-hmm. And it was just it's interesting because Russell Brunson talks a lot about traffic that you own. Your Facebook traffic you don't own, your Amazon traffic you don't own, your Google traffic you do not own, your YouTube traffic you do not own. At any time, those platforms can turn you off, and you lose everything. Mm-hmm. But email, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. You own your list. Clavio shuts you down, which I don't hear many stories of that, but if they do, you can download your list and bring it to another provider. That's the one piece of equity that you own in your business, especially an online business. I mean, even Shopify could shut you down.
Right.
So at the end of the day, owning your traffic, owning your list, owning your customers is the most important thing because, quite honestly, Kevin, if we didn't have that list, we would have been shit out of luck this month.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we really wouldn't have made much profit at all. And that list allowed us to, have the option of turning everything off and just running emails.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, the process of your customer knowing you, liking you, and trusting you, and building a relationship with your customers or your email list. Even if they're not customers, building a relationship with the people who are on your list. And you really can't do that when, Amazon is in charge. It's funny because you're not gaining their trust when you're on Amazon or Facebook like that. They're trusting Amazon.
Amazon.
It's funny too because this other client that we work with, we were running Facebook lead ads, and we were able to capture a bunch of emails. And Facebook lead ad is when you have an ad, and when you click learn more or sign up, it opens up a sign up on the Facebook platform. You never go to the company's website or anything like that. And we were getting like under $1 email subs. And it was great. It was like that was a success on the Facebook ad side. But then when it came down to it and we started sending these people emails, there was no interaction. There was no engagement. And I started thinking about it, and it came up in a conversation with my client again, and we were going to run another campaign. And like, why don't you just do it, use the lead ad because it works so well? And I'm thinking about it, and I looked at it, and the psychology of it is when a person signs up on the Facebook platform, there's like a less level of commitment to your business because they're basically trusting Facebook at that point. They're signing. They almost feel psychologically like they're signing up with Facebook.
Well, why don't you explain what a lead ad is? Because some
yeah.
people may not know what you're talking about.
So a lead ad is a type of objective that you could set up with a Facebook ad. So you set up a form within the.
Basically, you don't have to leave Facebook.
Yeah, you stay on
Right.
Facebook.
You stay on Facebook.
You click the ad, and it brings up a form that's generated by Facebook. So you don't go to a company website where you can have like a clavio form or a pop-up form or something like that. And it was successful in collecting emails, but when it came to the clavio side, the engagement side, I didn't see anything on the email.
Right, so people weren't really buying into the business. They were just trying to get the thing you were giving away. And since it was really easy not to leave Facebook, they were just giving you their information. But then when you tried to go engage with them on email, they were just they almost didn't know who you were.
Yeah,
because
and that's why I said that. I was like, no, we need to send traffic to our website that we own, and at least start the relationship off in that way.
But there's so many other reasons too. I mean, your pixel. I mean, like capturing that person in an audience. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's funny because I haven't heard much about lead ads.
And I think that's why. I think that's a big reason why, because you in a sense that you do own the email address. When you get it, you can integrate it with Clavio and it goes into your Clavio account. You own the email address. But the relationship is built almost artificially in the beginning.
Right.
And that's key because you need to it's almost like buying an email list.
Yeah, there's no buy-in to your company. And we're seeing that with our brand, right? Like we're giving away a full issue to the journal, or we're giving away like an autofocus article. Both of these articles are in-depth articles that you can't find anywhere else. And our email list, we have 43,000 people on there. We can get between 20 and 30% open rates.
Yeah.
The people that respond that you don't even see, they respond because I'm in control of the email. They love it. They know who Jared is. They buy into what he's teaching, and we're finding that our email list is very, very responsive. I mean, we just sent out an email 3 days ago. It made $5,700, and it's an info product, so it's all profit.
It's still growing. And we're doing it every day.
Every day. I mean, yesterday it's crazy. We're sending out emails every single day. People complain, but the point is that it's your list. You own it. You can do whatever you want with it. And one thing, I'm reading Russell Brunson's traffic book, and it's interesting how he thinks, right? He doesn't necessarily go for the sale on the front end. His entire strategy is getting people on his list. Because when they're on his list, he can send them things over and over and over and sell them things over and over and over. He says he talks about, I just try to break even on the front end. Mm-hmm. My Facebook ads, he's like, I'm just trying to not spend money on my ads. I'm trying to spend $1 and I'm trying to get $1 back. And then he's like, when people don't buy, my next thing is just get them on the list. And it's an interesting concept because the truth is, like I said, we'd be screwed if we didn't have that.
And it's a difficult thing because you don't, you're not going to see an immediate return when you do just focus on email capture. We have people on our list that joined at this point almost a year ago that are just buying now. So you almost got to look at it as you have to look at the long-term approach of email. And we continue to do that. We continue to see that happening. It's like we spend, it's an investment to get people on your list, but down the road, you know that they're going to come back around.
The one thing, though, that I think we have to be careful of, and even we have to be careful of it, is that, we need to think of this as a pie, right? Like, it's not just email. It's not just, getting the money back later. We have to be multifaceted. We have to still have that Facebook campaign that's bringing in some money. We still have to have the emails on the back end going, because it's never just one thing. It's always, and that's another thing we spoke about with one of the guests, is understanding that your online business is a pie, and not in not any one piece will break it, but all of them together actually makes it, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like one machine that you have to build that just runs.
Yeah,
and it doesn't just run by itself, obviously. You have to monitor it. You have to change it up. You have to do new things.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, the formula is there. It's just feeding it. It's just getting, and that's one thing, we talk a lot about with our clients. It's just being multidimensional. Like, just not relying on Facebook ads to make you rich, or not relying just on email to make you rich. They both work. You got to use them together in tandem. They have to be, and that's another thing that Russell talks about. He talks about like earned traffic and paid traffic and owned traffic. And he thinks about these things in all these different ways, where most people just do like one thing. We just do Facebook.
There's definitely a sense of security, because for me, like, I'm a more conservative guy than you are when it comes to this stuff, and I'm always talking to you about, like, I got to see some sustainability, like, we got to be careful, and like, at this point, when you have 40, 50,000 people on your email list, it does give you that sense of security. If Facebook does shut us down, like, they won't, but we know that we have that, that email list to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, and look, if our ads stop, our front end ads stop making money, we know that we can run lead capture ads, because we have two really good pieces of content. Yeah,
I mean, another thing to think about is, building content on your website itself. Like, we have another client, Rever, that we talk about quite a bit, that they got shut down by COVID. Their factory got shut down in Mexico, but their traffic, because we built up this blog, this constant content that we have going on their website, they're getting organic traffic. People are still knowing their brand. They're learning about their brand. So there's that. That's like another piece of the pie. Building organic traffic for your website. Not focus on SEO. I don't like to say focus on SEO or anything like that, but just building organic traffic so that if something does happen, you still have that, content to share and for people to find.
Yeah. I mean, the moral of the story is, owning as much of the customers as you can. It's interesting to hear a lot of people moving from Amazon. I mean, we had a client come in here who we partnered up with, who all they wanted to do was build an Amazon store. And we said to him, like, that's not the right thing to do. And he didn't want to listen to us. And who the hell knows?
Listen to everybody else he talked to.
He listened to everybody else, didn't listen to us. But it's interesting to talk to these entrepreneurs, because, owning your business. It's funny. Before Russell talks in his book, he's like, it's really interesting to think about an online business. He's like, what exactly is it? Is it a website? Is it the traffic? Is it a Facebook page? He's like, it's hard to material. Like, what is it? He's like, and really what it is your list.
Yeah.
It's your list. Yeah. Your list. When a company, he talks about Skype. He's like, when Microsoft bought Skype, they didn't buy Skype. They can build Skype if they want. They bought the 97 million people who are on Skype. Right. And that's, it's an interesting thing to think about, because it's true. And if you're not owning your traffic, if you're not owning your list, if you're not owning your customers, then when the shit hits the fan, you're probably going to hit the fan with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to have products on Amazon. I mean, the
Right.
woman we spoke to, I think, was selling on Amazon still while she had her own store. I don't think it's a bad idea, but you can't rely on it.
No, and our clients right now sell on it, but it's just another channel.
Yeah,
It's not their
another
main,
piece of your pie.
Right, it's another piece of the pie.
It's not a bad place to see a reaction to a product, just to get it out there, to see how people are. And I think this woman we spoke to, that's really how she tested her product. She saw, and then she mentioned how then the trolls came out, and then she started getting ripped off.
ripping her off. Yeah,
And I'm sure Amazon was one of them.
yeah.
Once
sure.
they see that the product's selling and making profit, then they're going to go out and create their own product, the same thing.
Yeah, they do that a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah. So own your traffic, own your list, own your customers, and make sure that your business is built on a foundation and not on some other platform's foundation. Because when that happens, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so we talked to these Clavio customers, these owned growth stories that they have over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss those. Those are coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be posting those. And they're really great stories, great people.
Yeah.
Also, go to Clavio and sign up. Clavio.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored, and sign up for a free account there.
Yeah, 250 subscribers. You don't have to do anything but just import the subscribers. And don't forget, if you're struggling with Facebook ads, or if you think you know Facebook ads, I love when that girl said that. She's like, if you think you know Facebook ads, you got to take this course. It's called The Truth About Facebook Ads. You go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth. You sign up, and
We also have one of your students is going to come on in a couple of weeks too
Yeah.
and talk about it. That's
Yeah.
cool. The real estate market.
oh
I think
yeah, she's excited too.
she does all kinds of things.
Dude, that girl works.
Hustler.
She's a hustler. So.
All right, guys, that's cool. Thank you so much. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com. I'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.